class called the Schlachter, the lower aristocrats. In German, it's Milchadel, milk nobility, the lowest. And he was trapped in Canada by the Hitler-Stalin Pact. His father was a diplomat serving the government of Pilsudski and this guy Smedley Ridge, right-wing authoritarian Polish governments in the 1930s. He then went to McGill University. He would have gone to Britain. I think he wanted to go to Britain, but he couldn't do it because of various technical considerations. So he then got into Harvard and eventually became the head of the Soviet Affairs Institute at Columbia. I believe that is where he picked up Barack Hussein Obama, Barry Soetoro, between 1981 and 1983, when both Brzezinski and Barry Soetoro were on the same campus, probably in the same department. Look at Obama's graduating thesis, Soviet military disarmament. That's nuclear disarmament. That's absolutely critical because it's a topic that has Brzezinski written all over it. So Brzezinski was, of course, the head of the National Security Council under Jimmy Carter. He is the guy who successfully played the Afghan Mujahideen against the Soviet Union. He has boasted that he lured the Soviets into invading Afghanistan by sending in U.S. Special Forces teams in the summer of 1979, 6 months before the Soviets invaded the country. He's also the guy who played Saddam Hussein, Iraq, against Khomeini's Iran for the purpose of destroying both countries, but of propping up both dictatorships at the same time. In other words, the Khomeini regime by 1980 was showing signs of collapse. So Brzezinski said, all we need is a foreign threat. So let's play Iraq against Iran and we'll keep both of them going. He was also a supporter of the Pol Pot genocidalist regime, and he's generally known for the traditional imperialist method of using one country as a tool against another so that you don't have to get involved and you don't have to face military defeat and all the expense. The ruling passion of his life is a hatred of Russia. He is a Russophobe. He is a ferocious enemy of everything Russian. There's a Brzezinski plan. The Russians will tell you, and I think it does exist. He doesn't publish it, but this is behind the scenes. He would like to divide European Russia into 4 or 5 different countries. He'd like to go back to a situation like you had during the Russian Civil War of 1919-1920, where you had the Bolsheviks in the middle maybe, but a whole bunch of other countries that had broken off, the North, the South, and so forth. So every Russian knows that Brzezinski means furious hatred, fanatical hatred of Russia. So that's what we have to expect under Obama. We're going to move towards some kind of apocalyptic endgame against Moscow and Beijing, with Brzezinski calling the shots through somebody like the most important official of the new regime is already clearly Robert Gates from the Pentagon. He's going to run intelligence, run the Pentagon. He's a clone of Brzezinski and has boasted about it.
That's stroking the masters, or getting the head stroked by the master.
Yeah.
You know, like lap dogs.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's you know, you did a good day's work and the master strokes him and send him on back to the damn doghouse.
Yeah.
I think in most cases, people like P. Diddy and Jay-Z and a lot of these cats, I don't even think they have any political awareness anywhere. Yeah. If it doesn't benefit them financially, they're not really politically astute to the point where they can be very honest and open and candid with us as black men, you know, and black women, to say, okay, tell us what you really think. The camera is not on now. You're not in the studio. You're not on stage. Tell us what you really think. And if what you really think doesn't go hand in hand with what you're telling the people that love, honor, and respect you and buy and support you, then what's really your agenda? You understand what I'm saying? Jay-Z already knows the handshakes. He's already taken the oath. They already let P. Diddy in. You don't get to the $20 million club without getting these people's stamp of approval. Do you understand what I'm saying? But Puffy had the vote or die, which is utterly stupid and ridiculous and idiotic. For a Negro like that to be giving us that kind of ultimatum, you either vote or you die. Jay-Z openly supports Barack Obama. 50 Cent openly supports Hillary Clinton. And
I think he changed his position. 50 something now since she's out. I think he's now supporting Barack
okay,
Obama.
but that would be a smart move to do that.
Yeah.
Because now you have to be appear to be politically astute because you don't want to lose that particular clout. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they have to be, so they can be called on by their handlers, by
Right.
their white handlers.
Right.
So you have to appear at least. See, Puffy tried to appear neutral. Vote or die, galvanizing all the young energy, that demographic between the 18 and 35 demographic, get them out to vote, get them registered. Come to find out that all those names that when you register at the post office for the or register to vote, all of those names go into a database for the selective service draft. And this they're not telling us. So no one is saying, okay, well, this is the electoral process and this is how it works to educate us about voting. They just said, no, come register. And at that time, they want us to vote for Bush or Kerry, and both of them are cousins, and both of them belong to Skull and Bones.